Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.G. Man, today we're going to compare Canik MC9 Prime to the Walther PDP Pro E. I know one's a lot smaller than the other, and they're probably not in the same category you may think, but this is one of those ones where people have been requesting for me to review and do a comparison between these two because they're just both awesome guns. So here we are doing a comparison between the Canik MC9 Prime and the Walther PDP Pro E. I think a lot of people are mainly concerned about the trigger differences, and we will get into that. But at first, I wanted to talk about what you get for your money, what comes with both of these when you purchase them, dimensions, features, that sort of thing, which is best for you, and which I like better of the two. So let's get right into the video. Starting with the Walther PDP Pro E model, it comes in at about $770, and what you get is a hard case, locking cable, speed loader, two backstrap options, a couple of tools, and 3 total magazines, all of which are 18 rounders, and that's what you get with your Walther PDP Pro E. And the Prime comes in at $600, probably the best affordable gun out there. It comes in a really nice hard case. It's a 2-tiered case. Let's take a look and see what we have inside. Now inside here, we're gonna have 2 backstrap options, a nice display, some tools here. You're gonna have your paperwork that we don't really need. You're gonna have an inside the waistband holster, a trigger lock, a speed loader, and on the bottom of this, you're going to have a paddle if you want to run an outside the waistband holster and some cleaning utensils. Now, this also comes with 2 magazines, both of which are 18 rounders, and that is what you get for the Canik MC9 Prime at $600. Going into the dimension differences between the two, as we said in the beginning, I know it looks like they're just 2 completely different category handguns, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Now, we're going to take a look at the overall length, which is basically this portion of the guns here. And the Canik Prime with the overall length is 6.73 versus the PDP, which is sitting at 7.19 inches. When we take a look at how tall they sit, this is pretty interesting here because the Prime sits at 5.4 inches in height, overall height, and the PDP without the extension, if you just have the 15 rounder, sits at 5.4 in height. But if you add this extension, the 18 rounder, it does jump up to, I believe it's like 5.8 inches in height, something like that. So the Prime has a much better size to capacity ratio. Taking a look at the width between the two, the Prime sits at 1.16 inches in width, and the PDP is 1.34 inches in width. However, with the weight difference, not much as you would think, considering that this is looks at least is visibly bigger than the Prime. The weight between the two, the Prime is at 24 exact ounces, and the PDP sits at 24.4 ounces. Taking a look at some of the features of the Canik Prime, we're going to start from the slide and work our way down. Now, the slide is very busy with slide serrations, but very nice functioning serrations. You also get some serrations to match on the barrel here, which is a nice touch from Canik. Just an awesome job, and it makes it really easy to rack the slide. However, the slide is a little stiff on the Prime. You get a 3-port system on the slide and the barrel, which helps mitigate that recoil. You have a nice window cut here with Prime written right on there. Really, really good touch from Canik. You have night vision sights, which are probably my favorite sights, and these come factory just like that. You get an orange trinium front, and then you get a 2-dot system in the back. They are blacked out, which is a really nice touch. And you have an optic cut. Now you can direct mount anything that's a K dot or a K series dot, or anything that's RMSC footprint. Either of those will co-witness without an adapter plate perfectly fine. You also have a loaded chamber indicator just right up here. And all in all, just a really nice job by Canik here. Very well thought out and really good attention to detail. You do get a striker indicator in the back as well. So good job. Now working our way down, you have a 3-slot Picatinny rail here for lights. You have a stippled thumb rest area there. You have these really nice and larger manual controls to lock the slide on both sides, so it is ambi in that perspective. Takedown is also ambi. You also have a nice magazine release here, and this does have some texturing going on there. It is not on both sides, but you can flip it over for left-handed shooters. So completely ambidextrous gun here, really nice. Now, one of my favorite features on this is going to be this trigger. This is an aluminum flat face that breaks at 90 degrees, and man, that's a nice trigger. Going into the frame itself, Canik has the best stipple job in the game right now. I don't even think it's close. And what they did is the front and the back of this is more aggressive than the sides because they want you to have a good secure grip, but at the same time they don't want it overly aggressive so that it makes it uncomfortable to carry. So they softened up the sides here for it to be easier to carry. So that's awesome. Get a little bit of a beaver tail there. Like I said before, some different backstrap options. Really nice undercuts here on the trigger. I really do like this, and I'll show you guys why I prefer this over the Walther PDPs. But anyway, going down to the bottom here, you have a magwell that's included, which is a nice touch. However, I do wish they would have made this magazine come out a little bit more because it sits really close to that magwell. And I really would have liked it to be a little bit more to kind of grab onto. But you also get some stippling on the magazine, which is nice to kind of match the frame here. So all in all, a super nice job by Canik. One of the best looking guns out there on the market right now, and just at a great price. Really good job by Canik on that one. Let's take a look at the Walther PDP here. Now, immediately you are going to see those really aggressive slide cuts, both front and rears on the PDP. Now, for this one here, it's not as busy, but man, they're just so aggressive that it looks like it's everywhere. But there's only 3 cuts on the front and the rear. You also get optic system here, but you do need adapter plates. The only dot you can run without an adapter plate on this so far is the HoloSun SCS. You also get some sights here, which are garbage in my personal opinion. These are plastic sights. It's a 3-dot system, but they're adjustable in the rear and they're not night sights. So probably worse than Glock, to be honest with you guys. But needless to say, still super accurate, and shoots right where you point. Let's move our way down. Well, before we do, you also have a loaded chamber indicator here that comes out when there's one in there. No striker indicator on this one that I can see or tell or noticed. But working our way down, 3-slot Picatinny rail there for a light. You also have the same takedown as the Prime, same slide lock as the Prime, slight beaver tail here with a couple of different backstrap options as we said before. Now, this is where I don't like about the PDP other than the sights, and that's going to be the magazine release right here. As you guys can see, the trigger housing extends out to the mag release and is like a little ledge right there. So when you try to release this mag from anywhere other than up here, you're going to hit that ledge and it's not going to do nothing. So I think that's a big flaw. And you get the same if you try to flip it to the other side. That little ledge is there. So I don't know why they do that, but just something I noticed while owning this. Now, taking a look at, let's take a look at the trigger, man. Look at that thing. This comparison in trigger is going to be awesome. But anyway, taking a look at the texturing and the stippling, amazing job by Walther. Even though I do prefer the Canik stipple job better, I think PDP is just so close behind it. I mean, it's not even debatable. It's just they're both really good, stipple jobs. You do get some palm swells here, which is an awesome little touch. You have a functioning magwell that's over, like it's just a lot bigger, but in a good way. And you have the magazine, and the magazine. Look at this. You see that gap, so it's easy to grab onto, and it's not the same for that Prime. But needless to say, really good purchase and good feeling in the hand. No undercuts under here, and I wish they would have done that. Maybe with future releases, they can take a look at that. But other than that, man, just an awesome looking piece here. And I do think it's just, oh man, I don't know. I don't know if it's because they're, Prime is, or I'm sorry, Canik is based off of Walther that they're just so close to me in terms of which I like better. But man, this is a good comparison video, even though there is obviously a significant size difference. Let's take a look and compare these 2 triggers. I know that's what you guys have been waiting for. All right, we're going to start off with the Walther PDP, and obviously we are clear. As you guys can see, we are extremely clear. There's no mag in there. There's no ammo anywhere in here. We're in a safe working environment. Let's take a look at this trigger here. Look at that thing. That thing is crazy, yo. Now let's take a look at that travel. Not much of a travel, almost non-existent. Now this trigger blade or this little dingus, whatever y'all call it, is very soft. It doesn't require much pressure to activate it, but it just almost non-existent. You get that wall, a little bit of mush and creep as you guys saw there. But man, what a tactical break. Let's take a look at that reset. Really good reset. So here it is again. Awesome trigger by Walther. Now let's take a look and compare it to the Canik Prime here. Now again, we are clear, no mag, no ammo, safe working environment. And let's take a look here. Much longer travel. And I think it's because this is more intended for carry, but no excuses, much longer travel. No creep, no mush, direct break. Shorter break, if that makes any sense. I don't know. And immediate reset. Let's take a look at it from the start again here. I don't know, man. That's a close call. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Which of these two do you prefer? I think that the Canik has a longer travel, but a better break and reset. And I think that the Walther has a better travel, but a worse break and very similar reset. So I don't know. It's close. It's very close. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the triggers on these two. Let me know in the comments what you think about both of these in general. Now, for me, in my personal opinion, I love them both. I am extremely accurate with both. I have over 2,500 rounds on the Prime, and I have about maybe I don't even know, 300, 400 maybe rounds in the Walther PDP. I've enjoyed both. I would say that I think I'm more accurate, or I'm more comfortable, I would say, with the Prime. However, I think that the PDP is a very close runner up, and it really is going to depend for you on what your intended purpose of use is with either of these. If you're going to carry, hands down the Prime. If you're going to do home defense, or you can get away with carrying something wider or a little bit bigger, or if you're not going to conceal it, if you're just going to do outside the waistband or whatever it is, then the PDP. But it's a close one. I would say home defense, and I would say carry, and you can't go wrong. I would say get them both. That's my suggestion to y'all. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these two. Which would you choose between the two? I hope that Walther comes out with a PDP Micro. That would be crazy. And as weird as it sounds, I hope that Canik also drops a Prime, a smaller version of this, maybe the same exact size as the original MC9, but with all of the properties and qualities of the Prime. So that would be amazing. Let me know in the comments, man, what you guys think. Hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. But if you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.